Black Panther, First Man, The Favorite, Mary Poppins Returns, and Roma.
Oof.
So what are we thinking?
I would just give everything to Roma if I could, but Black Panther had a really good production design, I'd say. That's something that really, I think that's one of the best things it had, even though The Favorite will take it.
I think that The Favorite will take it, or Black Panther. The one, again, I was surprised by Crazy Rich Asians. I really wanted it to get in on that category. First Man was the one that kind of got me there. I wasn't expecting that. I saw Roma. I mean, I saw all 5 of them, but I saw that Mary Poppins, Roma, Black Panther, and The Favorite were coming. I just thought that 5th spot was going to go to Crazy Rich Asians. I think it's between Black Panther and The Favorite, though.
So the difference between the two of them, I would say, is The Favorite really has a lot of practical sets, and they really filmed on location in certain
And they
places.
love, like, period pieces.
Yeah, as opposed to Black Panther, which still uses a lot of practical sets and places, but they also built a lot, and a lot of it is green screen. So what do we think about, the use of practical versus visual effects in the production design category?
What do you think, Paul?
I'm always more in favor of practical. I think it looks better. I think it's, I don't know if like more deserving, because certainly like building those sets digitally is a huge accomplishment and worthy of recognition, but I always lean more towards practical. And I might be wrong, but wasn't Gravity up for this category a few years ago?
I don't know
It was
if
up for
production
something?
design. It won cinematography.
Yeah, and I thought it was up
Okay.
for visuals, too, but I don't know if it was prod design.
I remember it was up for something, and it was questionable because it's almost entirely digital.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember, I think in 2012, the year that Alice in Wonderland came out, it not only was not nominated, it was nominated and it won for production design, where that film is almost entirely...
It's entirely CGI.
Yeah, which really raises the question of production design, like where is the future production design going?
Also with Avatar winning cinematography back in 2010, the movie came out in 2009, but it won cinematography and it's all digital.
I think
There's
what
also
we
5 sequels in the works right now.
Oh, yes.
I
Being
think
filmed
we-
simultaneously.
also have to look back at visual effects, though. Black Panther didn't get a visual effects nomination, and if we want to talk about the fact that we're going to be rewarding them for the physical, practical production design, as well as the digital, this is the place to reward it. I think that Black Panther will do really well in technical categories.
Yeah, as it should,
yeah.
I think.
But I have to give the leg up to The Favorite, in my personal opinion, but I feel like the technicals are going to go to Black Panther.
Most of them might. I don't think the VFX in Black Panther were that great.
Oh, neither do I. But I'm saying since it didn't have it for visual effects, this is rewarding the production design team and saying, here are your visual effects too with it.
Which, in all fairness, it was pretty great, like the production design, I'd say.
The CG in the final scene of Black Panther, not great.
Yeah.
I've seen better,
Certainly.
like 10 years ago.
Well, let's move on to the next category. So we're going to start to get into sound, we'll start with sound mixing. We have Black Panther, Bohemian Rhapsody, First Man, Roma, and A Star Is Born.
Why is Black Panther nominated for sound mixing? Why?
I think Roma would be great if it gets it.
I think
Because
it'll be A Star
the
Is Born
sound
or Roma.
in that movie is flawless.
What I hear with Roma is, even though it is on Netflix, where you can watch it in the comfort of your own home, on your TV or on your computer, it deserves to be seen in a theater because
Absolutely.
it doesn't do justice for the sound mixing if you're on your computer.
Yeah, they use like this, if I'm not mistaken, they use like the Dolby Atmos technology to create such an intimate movie. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Like that's when you realize this technology is not only for like big blockbusters. It's like it amplifies like the experience of more intimate films. That's incredible.
That's one of the reasons why it was so important to see Roma in a theater was because of the sound design. It was just so the world building in Roma is amazing, but specifically you didn't realize you were in a theater when you were listening to it. I think that Roma will probably take it, but if A Star Is Born gets something else besides the original song, I think it could be sound mixing because specifically the concert scenes, because those were really. They were actually singing and they were mixing on the spot. So I think that's a really great feat in and of itself. But I think Roma will take it.
Now, even though I want Roma to get it, A Star Is Born is gonna get it.
You think so?
I know so. No, I don't know so, because
Yeah.
But,
Are you
inside
telling us some
information.
information
I'm a
here?
voter in the academy, guys.
Ah, I knew it.
I
I
knew
knew
it.
it.
I knew it.
No, but
Okay.
A Star is Born doesn't have sound editing nomination. It only has mixing, whereas Roma has both. So I think Roma will get editing, while A Star is Born is going to get mixing. Because it was pretty fantastic, the mixing
It was.
in A Star is Born. But I just want that Roma to get everything. But A Star is Born is going to get mixing, I think.
Yeah, it's like up in the air with those two for me. But I just feel like the momentum on A Star is Born continues to weaken and weaken and weaken. And yeah, technical categories are like very different than like your big five.
Mhm.
But I feel like people are going to want to give Roma as much as possible. Like, it's well deserved. But
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
have to see. We're still a couple weeks away. Things are going to change. But I could see what you're saying.
Mhm.
Well, let's move on to sound editing since we're on the topic of
Yeah.
talking about it. We also have Black Panther, Bohemian Rhapsody, First Man, A Quiet Place, and Roma. So in this category, it's mainly the same except for A Star Is Born and A Quiet Place switch.
Mhm.
So what do we think about that?
I was so glad for A Quiet Place to get one nomination with sound
Is
editing.
this its
pretty
only
good.
one?
Yeah.
Hi. I haven't seen it, and I feel bad that
It's
I
so
haven't seen
good.
it because I wanted to. So I can't really speak to A Quiet Place, but I think Black Panther, First Man, and Roma like all had
Mhm.
good sound.
I think it's between First Man and Roma here.
I think that's
it's Roma.
I agree.
And that's because, like, I just pictured this scene where they're using, like, the toy cars, like, the Skeletrix cores.
Yep.
And the sound is so subtle, and yet it amplifies everything in so many levels. It's incredible. That movie gives me a smile every time I talk about it.
That's such a sad movie.
No, but, like, it's technically
I know.
flawless. That's what makes me so happy about it. And sobbing in movies makes me happy, which is weird.
Thing with it though is that I am with you on Roma, but First Man might come out and just take something. I think
might.
that it's gonna get something.
Yeah, might snatch that one.
But
I think it's
I
gonna
hope
do it
it's
somewhere.
Roma.
I think.
Again, I just don't understand why Bohemian Rhapsody's nominated for so many things.
Oh, trust me, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody doesn't deserve anything.
Well, I think it's a music film that is about
For sure.
concerts and stuff. And I mean, with The Star Is Born, going back to mixing, they mixed live and also recorded a lot of the sound live. And with those, music and concert films, the sound is, it's about sound. So the sound categories, I feel like, are more, they recognize those films more, whether they deserve it or not.
But most of Bohemian Rhapsody was lip synced.
Yes.
So it wasn't mixed live. What were they editing? Like, it wasn't as much as a technical achievement. You can slap. It's a concert movie, which the last 20 minutes were a concert movie, but besides that, it really wasn't much of a concert movie on it. But that doesn't mean that it gets an achievement in sound editing. And to have Bohemian Rhapsody there and A Star Is Born not there for me, that blows my mind.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing I'll give to Bohemian Rhapsody, that Live Aid scene, that was pretty great. But besides that, it's a pretty weak movie.
Well, let's move on from sound editing to picture editing or film editing. We have BlacKkKlansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, Green Book, The Favorite, and Vice. So what do you guys think is going to take it?
I think this category is baffling.
No Roma.
Exactly. Roma knew when to cut. Like, that's perfect editing for me, but no Roma.
No Roma, but Bohemian... I mean, I understand Bohemian Rhapsody here because of what happened with Bryan Singer, and they say that the editing really did save the film. So I get it there. Roma really throws me for a loop with Green Book being there. I don't understand that. But I think it's going to go towards either Vice or BlacKkKlansman. Those are the two front runners for me.
Which one do you think would take it above the
Vice.
others? You think Vice?
Yeah.
Why do you think that way?
Because Vice is like a very heavily edited film. Think about back to the scenes where they're in the bedroom, and specifically the hook, line, and sinker scene, which was very on the nose for me. I don't know if I loved it, but the editing to that movie is very critical because it is like so non-linear and jumps around so much.
And, well, I think, yes, it has a very strong chance of getting it. The editing, it really didn't work for me. It was a mess. I agree with you. It was very obvious and on the nose, but in a way that works because, the film is quite complex in that sense of like the themes it touches. And so for a wider audience, it needs to be more understandable, even though it's just a gigantic mess. And it's fine, like, it's frenetic, it's very stylish, but it's just, like you said, very on the nose. I'd be happy if The Favorite gets it.
So let's talk about original screenplay. We have The Favorite, First Reformed, Green Book, Roma, and Vice. So what do you guys think?
I think that Green Book's just not going to take this, just to get back to something that you said,
Mhm.
because of what happened with Tony Vallelonga's son, because he is the writer of the film, and because he went on his xenophobic rants on Twitter. I just think that all momentum for that category in particular is gone. So I do think it's going to be Roma.
Now, take in mind, it happened a couple years ago with Casey Affleck. He was in a scandal, and he still got Best Actor.
That's true.
Now, I think Green Book is going to surprise us, even though it doesn't deserve it. I think The Favorite deserves it. And I'm very happy to see First Reformed there, even though it's not going to get it. The Favorite deserves it. I would be happy if Roma gets it. Green
Okay.
Book doesn't deserve it, but it's going to get it.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty reasonable, and again with The Favorite, with this being the first writing credit of these, it's a couple that wrote it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think it's one of them. It's a woman and a man. who
Yeah, it's a
wrote
man
it.
and a woman. I don't know their relationship to one
Yeah.
another, but it's their first feature film, and it's being directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, and has like this all-star cast, and is up for what,
10.
10 Oscars, right?
Mhm.
It's tied with Roma, which is just huge for
know.
them. So it'd be great for them if they got it. I think Green Book and Roma both have a shot. First Reformed and Vice probably not so much.
I think Vice is probably the weakest up there.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, Green Book's probably the weakest up there, but for chances, Vice is
Agreed.
not gonna come close.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All right, well, let us move on to adapted screenplay. We have The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, Black Klansman, Can You Ever Forgive Me, If Beale Street Could Talk, and A Star Is Born. All very strong films, I would argue.
I'm really, really rooting for Beale Street again, and
Me
that's
too.
not just because it's my favorite movie. Can You Ever Forgive Me was really solid. A Star Is Born. It's the third time we've done this. I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Fourth, actually.
Fourth
Fourth
time,
time.
fourth adapted. And Black Klansman could take it, but I think it's going to Beale Street. Barry Jenkins won for adapted screenplay 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's his time to win again. He didn't get director, he didn't get picture. Let's give it to him here.
Well, I do agree Beale Street deserves it. I think A Star Is Born is going to get it, because that's going
Really?
to compensate for other awards it didn't get. The Academy loves A Star Is Born. Everyone loves A Star Is Born.
I love The
It's-
Star Is Born.
I
love
like
A
A
Star Is Born.
too, but
I
where...
thought it was really good, but I do agree Beale Street deserves it, even
Mhm.
though A Star Is Born is going to get it just to compensate for other things.
Yeah.
I don't think A Star Is Born's going to get this.
I wouldn't be surprised if Black Klansman gets it.
Black Klansman and Beale Street are the two that I think have the best chance. A Star Is Born has done nothing but lose momentum time and time again throughout award season. If we go back to October, like, Star Is Born was going to be the thing that we thought would sweep everything, but now it's Roma. I really think that it's not going to go to Bradley Cooper here. I don't think he's going to walk away with anything, and I'd be very, very surprised if it came to A Star Is Born. If it did, I'd be excited, but the writing in A Star Is Born was kind of weak. I thought
I
it was the
do agree
weakest
with
part
that.
of the movie.
I agree with you in there, but I think it's going to get it.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll
Like,
have to
out
see.
of the nominees here, I haven't seen Can You Ever Forgive Me, but I think it's the weakest nominee here. A Star Is
Really?
Born. And yet, I think it's still going to get it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely has a shot.
Yeah.
I'd say I think this is one of those things where it's the nominated film that came out just a little bit too early.
Mhm.
You know, it's not in that nice like end of November, early December where it's fresh in everyone's mind. It came out like early mid-October.
Yeah.
So
Same as Black Panther, though. It came out in February.
in February. Yeah, but that's different. That's a Marvel movie and was very significant like culturally.
Sure.
So I think that based on that stayed in everyone's minds, whereas this, like we've said before, is the fourth time this story's been told. Like, yes, it has Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper's directing it, so there's that, but I don't think the significance matches something of, not that it's even comparable in that way to Black Panther, but one was able to keep that momentum going more than the other over a much longer period of time.
So you say Black Klansman is going to get it?
I wouldn't be surprised. I think Black Klansman or Beale Street have
I'll
a
be
shot.
happy if both of them.
Yeah, I've not seen Beale Street, but I mean, just based on what I've heard, I think it definitely has a shot. And Barry Jenkins did pretty well last time he was at the Oscars. I mean, he did take away Best Picture,
Yeah.
and he's not up for it this time. So
Also, like, just going back to Beale Street one more time, it's a James Baldwin novel who, like, is critically, like, one of the greatest, like, black writers of the 20th century. Barry Jenkins has won an adapted screenplay before. He was not nominated for Best Picture. A Star is Born, no one walked out of there saying, oh man, the writing in A Star is Born is so great.
That's why it's gonna make me angry when it wins, because it will,
It's
but
a-
it doesn't deserve it.
It's a performance-driven piece. It's a like musical-driven piece. It's a visually driven piece. I could see it win actress before I could see it win screenplay. I just can't see it. Klansman, maybe because it's such an interesting, great story. But the real question is, where is Black Panther? I really thought that was going to be our 5th slot instead of Buster Scruggs.
I'm actually glad Black Panther is in it.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if I'd put it for a screenplay.
But you're gonna see my face when it gets screenplay that night on the Oscars on the 22nd.
I'm going to be watching out for your face the whole time.
You better.
Well-
You're gonna have a blast.